Hey guys, HP here. I'm taking on a challenge to beat all 296 North American titles for the Nintendo 64. That's something that you're interested in. Let's get going. Let's go! Alright, so the next game we got on our list was Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Turok Dinosaur Hunter is a first-person shooter game developed by Iguana Entertainment and published by Acclaim. I didn't know this, but Turok is an adaptation of a comic book series sharing the same name. As for the video game, excuse me for the vagueness of the actual plot, but if I remember correctly, it doesn't get too in-depth on the storyline. You kind of just have to infer based on what's going on in front of you. That being said, in this game, you assume the role of Turok, a Native American warrior set to stop an evildoer with futuristic tech to control dinosaurs with robotic equipment, I think? So the gameplay is as follows. You start in level 1 with just a knife and slowly acquire more guns as the game progresses. During each level, you must acquire level keys to get to the next level, so on level 1, you would get keys for level 2, and then go to a shrine and unlock a portal to jump into level 2. Rinse and repeat, except some levels had different sets of keys in them, requiring you to visit different levels to acquire the next set of keys. All of this leads to collecting the level 8 keys to descend into level 8, the final confrontation. The landscape for each level changes up quite a bit, so there is some variety to each level. Level 1 is the main hub in an ancient jungle type setting. Level 2 follows the same kind of trend and is also set in a jungle. Level 3 is set in an ancient city. Level 4 is in some old ruins. Level 5 is in the catacombs. Level 6 is a treetop village, and level 7 is a desolate, lost land. In each level, you get a variety of different weapons in your arsenal, including a knife, a bow and arrow with regular or explosive arrows, a pistol, a shotgun with explosive rounds, and even a Gatling gun, just to name a few. The weapons variety definitely felt nice to change the pace, considering every enemy pretty much felt the same. And onto the music. The music definitely always felt very Turok-esque, and it really did set the tone for each stage. And to be honest, it was probably the best part about this version of the game. There were war drum vibes, and all the other instruments just pieced together made it really feel like there was an intense jungle or ancient ruins battle going on at all times. One thing that I do want to touch on, and forgive me for not reading the comics or understanding the story, but the game is titled Turok Dinosaur Hunter. And there are only like 3 dinosaurs you see in the entire game. It's mostly just people or some lizard person or shaman. You only see a few raptors in the beginning, a Triceratops later, and a T-Rex. It definitely felt lacking despite the name, but I digress. Now, the game wasn't bad, but for one main reason, I don't think the N64 version holds up today. And this is the auto-look centering with the camera. Every time that I wanted to look up and down, I was fighting against the game, and it just made my aim all erratic. Because of this, I had to change up my playstyle to just trying to get on the same plane as the enemies and then taking a shot. Other first-person shooters are not like this, and I don't know why they chose to have this as a default setting. I tried to look into the game's settings to change this, but you cannot change it. It's so infuriating. I understand that it is a product of its time though, but other FPSs in this era do not have this same problem. For example, Hexen and Daikatana. Although I watched a PC version run of this game, and if I recommended it, it would be that version instead of the N64 one. The boss fights were pretty good, and they had a few patterns to recognize, which can be kind of fun, and they weren't too punishing. However, they were definitely huge bullet sponges, so it begins to get a bit repetitive, especially during the final boss. And that really sums up most of my experience. Turok Dinosaur Hunter, down. Hey, game over! That's not how you tell a player that they beat the game. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you want to follow along my journey of taking on this challenge. Also, don't forget to stick around to the end of the video to see us spin that wheel and see what game we got coming up next. Thanks, guys. Here we go! We're gonna spin that wheel! Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction. Let's go.